You want to climb a mountain, but you don't want to suffer, cry, or feel like you have to call 911 from the summit. This is the perfect video for you, aka you have just taken the red pill. Welcome. In this video, I am detailing out the easiest, most confidence-boosting mountain to climb in the Pacific Northwest, which is Mount St. Helens. I'm going to explain exactly what makes Mount St. Helens the best starter mountain for you, and how if you're lucky, you might spot a Lorax whilst climbing. Number one, Mount St. Helens is challenging, but it's not intimidating. You want your first mountain to push you, but not punish you. If your first mountain punishes you, you might never come back, and that's not what I want for you. Let's talk about what makes it challenging. Here's an abridged version of the details of climbing Mount St. Helens. First, you have two different routes to climb. You have the summer route and the winter route. The summer route is closer to the summit, so it's shorter. It's about 6 to 7 miles round trip. The winter route is longer. It is further away from the summit. It is roughly 10 to 11 miles round trip. Technically speaking, Mount St. Helens is not a technical climb, meaning most people say that you don't need an ice axe or a helmet or crampons and crampon compatible boots. I'm not necessarily going to recommend that. I think you should always be prepared. So I think a helmet is worthwhile, an ice axe is definitely worthwhile, and you can rent one, you don't need to go buy one. And then I do think that you need extra grip on your shoes, whether that's micro spikes, yak tracks even, or if you want to go the full kit and caboodle and do crampons. You will not need ropes. There are no crevasses. There were before this mountain exploded. And all in all, this isn't a very technical climb. You likely won't need technical gear that you bring, but I think it's always a good safety measure to bring it anyway. You will get the full I climbed a mountain experience without having the I climbed a mountain and almost died experience.
Guess who made it to the top? We did!
Ooh, ooh. Mount St. Helens is the perfect middle ground. It's this accomplishment of climbing a mountain, but not saying on the Monday after you've climbed that you're now missing toenails because it was so cold or so much downhill. Number two, the changes in terrain, I think, make this volcano mentally easier to climb. I like to think about it like a video game. There are stages and levels. Most of the terrain doesn't stay the same. You're climbing over boulders, and then you're on a glacier, and then you're on trail. It mixes it up enough that it stays interesting, while also not trying to kill you. You warm up really gently on this hike, walking through the forests. And I'm not talking switchbacking. No, you're meandering through these trails with slight elevation gain through the forest. Then you hit a boulder field, which feels fun, it's challenging. Again, it is like an adult real-life video game. You're climbing over these boulders, figuring out the path, handholds, footholds. It's cool. Then you get to the summit rim and the views are incredible, not only of the crater and the active volcano. Oh yes, Mount St. Helens is still active, but you can see Rainier, Mount Rainier, you can see Adams, you can see Mount Hood the other direction, and on a clear day, you can see Mount Jefferson and some of the sisters down in Bend, Oregon. This mountain is perfect for first-time morale boosting. You don't need to stare at one singular miserable trail for 6 hours. You get new terrain basically every time your brain starts to melt a little bit on this mountain, which makes it so much more bite-sized and manageable. Number three, the reward to effort ratio is outrageous. The summit views are shocking for how accessible this climb is. The mountains you get to see, the views that you have are incredible, given that you've really only climbed like 3 to 5 miles. The summit is the halfway point. You'll get so many no ways from anybody you do this with for the first time as well. And I like to say you get big mountain payoff without needing big mountain skills. The first time I climbed Mount St. Helens and I saw the photo of me right by the rim with the crater, I thought, oh, this is why people do it. This is why my grandfather and his brother consistently climbed mountains. They get this view. Number four, Mount St. Helens teaches you the exact skills you need for bigger mountains. It's a gateway volcano. It's Training Wheels Peak. It's your first Pokemon. It's your Charmander. The reasons for this are you don't have any massive, very steep uphill sections like you do on a mountain like Mount Hood. When you're going down the mountain, often you have a glissade chute that you can just slide on down, or you have enough quad control because it isn't too steep for you. You get some light scrambling over those boulder fields that I mentioned. Hydration and nutrition isn't going to be a huge issue because you really won't be out there that long. A climb like Mount Adams, you're likely in a single day going to be out there for something like 14 hours. St. Helens? 8 hours, maybe 9, maybe 10, but nothing extreme. And when it comes to weather and what you need to wear, you're looking at basics. Layering basics, shoe basics, nothing out of the ordinary. Everything you learn about climbing a mountain while doing it on Mount St. Helens, you can directly apply to climbing Mount Adams, climbing Mount Hood, and climbing South Sister, which also is just a wee hike, but it's a little bit further away and harder to get to. Mount St. Helens will give you the full mountain experience. The climb, the views, and obviously the bragging rights, without any of the technical training. If you want a first-time summit win, start with Mount St. Helens. If you're looking for a full beginner's guide for training and prepping to climb a mountain, be sure to click this video where I talk about how the heck you even go about preparing to train to climb a mountain, because that seems like such a monumental task. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Outside of climbing mountains, I am a public speaking and presentation skills coach. I help corporate and creative professionals to blend who they are personally with who they are professionally, so whenever they speak and present, they stand out. If you'd like content like that as well, I have that on my channel as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you, hopefully, outside.